Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning.
We'll wait a few more minutes, let everybody get in, then we'll introduce you, kind of set up the guidelines for this and let you get started.
All right, sounds great. Sound.
All right, good morning, everybody. With it being 8, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name's Eli Haley. I'm the elementary PE coordinator. Cheryl Schnegoki, who is our American Heart Association, I work with her each year to try to partner with Open to try to provide some professional development for us. This year we invited all the grade levels, so not just the elementary levels, but obviously middle school and high school. We're very lucky to have Lynn with us today. She's going to be teaching us the technology and tools. Couple housekeeping things. With meeting with her, we are limited with time because I usually like these to stop about 10 minutes early. So what we did decide is if you have any questions, please, you can email me afterwards or you can email Lynn directly. She will provide you with contact. So we are going to limit that. And then I just ask that everybody stay muted so that way we don't get any kind of feedback. So Lynn, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All righty. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to optimize. I'm going to bring this up. All right. Just give me a heads up that you can see everything. Can you see my screen?
Yes, looks good.
Okay. Okay. So my name is Lynn Heffley, and I'm here today to talk to you about technology tools for physical education. Here is my contact information. I will put it up at the end of the presentation as well. And please know that you are welcome to contact me about technology or anything else relating to physical education. My email is lepeinc.com. That stands for Literature Enhanced Physical Education. I write fictional stories to introduce physical education units for kindergarten to fourth grade. So my website is lepeinc.com. You can check that out. I'm also on Twitter as @Lynn Heffley. I go by HPE with Heff. And I have a YouTube channel with probably over 100 videos. Hopefully we'll get a chance to take a look at it for use in physical education. So let's get started. So as you know, I'm with Open, and Open provides equal equity of access to empower teachers and activity leaders.
You don't have to because I have the volume.
With physical education resources. We have served over 118,000 teachers and their 62 million students. And at this time, we've provided more than 70 million in curriculum resources. So I'm really proud to be part of this community service provided by US Games, and I hope you'll enjoy today's session. So why technology? Obviously, in this day and age, our students find technology engaging. It's very motivational for them. And we haven't done a lot in physical education with technology, but more and more teachers and more schools are finding that technology in gymnasiums can not just be motivating, but also educational. So my goal is to teach you how you can use technology to educate and motivate your students in physical education. Especially over the last year, technology was used for making connections with your students. And it can be also used in the future as well, even if you're not in a virtual environment. And finally, hopefully it can make your life easier. There are a ton of physical education teachers like myself that create technology resources that you can use and you can make yourself so that you can have it year after year and not have to keep reinventing the wheel. But some cautions before you get started. Anytime you use technology, make sure you test it out so that you don't have difficulties on the day that you use it. Knock on wood, today's going fine. Try things at home as well as at school, because you could find that your school district, when you create it at home, has put up some kind of firewall that doesn't allow access to the tools that you have made. So make sure you tried it both. And I would suggest even trying it on different platforms if you're going to, or pieces of technology on a tablet, on a Chromebook, because different types of technology have their own quirks. Then if you're using things that are on the internet, find out if all the things are free, only some of the things are free, and if there's advertisements that might be inappropriate for your students. Today, what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you some web-based resources that you can use immediately in your classroom. I'm going to give you some apps that you can purchase, some for purchase, some for free, and that you can use on tablets, iPads, and whatnot. And then I'm going to teach you how to create some resources on your own. For those of you like me that are love technology and want to make the things that happen in your gym personal to your students. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is a random wheel spinner. Now, I taught elementary school for the majority of my teaching career. I taught 30 years in the Huntington School District in Huntington, New York. And most of that time was in elementary. I spent 4 years in the high school, and I had some random classes in the middle school. I also coached at the middle school and high school level. So I've worked with all levels of students. Any of the things that I'm showing you here, while the majority of them are in elementary versions, you can find ways to use them at higher levels as well. So the wheel of names doesn't have to be names. Let's go take a look. This is a website, and here is an activity wheel that I created with yoga. Okay, so the students would tap on the wheel, or you would tap on the wheel, and it would come up with the activity that they can do. And then you can either choose to just close it, or you can close it and remove the pose. So now there's only 4. To create your own, you simply get rid of what's on there, and you can just type in what you want, or as I did, you can add images. So you find the image, and you just keep adding images or words that you want to add. Okay. When you view this in full screen, the advertisements on the left will not be there. You can customize it so that if you wanted to make it cheerful music, you can make the spin time longer or shorter. And so there's different options there. And then when you save it, you are going to give it a title, and you can save it so that they'll only be able to spin it, or they can edit it. So if I was in maybe a middle school or high school and students had Chromebooks, I could put them in groups of 4 around a Chromebook. They could create their own exercise wheels, and then you could put the exercise wheels at stations, and then students could rotate to exercise wheels that other people had done. So there are different ways to use it so that the students are involved in the creation of the exercise wheel. If you're working virtually, you can share that, that link and send it out to your students, and then they could use that link at home. So pretty fun way to get a fun tool to motivate students to do the exercises that you want them to do. Now this roulette wheel is an app, and it's Classroom Roulette. And what's unique about this is that you can create 2 wheels on the same page. So when you open the app, it's going to look like this. And when you go to create your app, you'll see that it comes with wheels already made. So the 6-side dice is already made, the 8-side, there's one with biology, French tenses, French verbs, and then you can create your own. And you'll see here that I created fitness 4 corners and locomotor skills were the ones that I created. So just like the other one, the wheel will spin, it will stop, and now your students know that they have to do 1 push-up or whatever you've assigned to them. For my use, I created this activity called Fitness 4 Corners. If you've ever seen the game 4 Corners played, there would be 4 cones around the outside of the gym of 4 different colors. Students would move around the gym. When the teacher counted down or the music stopped, the students would go to one of the cones and sit there quietly. And then the child in the middle of the gym with their eyes closed calls out a color, and those students are out and go sit in the middle. Well, I don't particularly like the idea of students being out, and I didn't think the activity itself was very active. So I changed it so that each of the 4 corners had an exercise applied to it. So instead of being out at the end, you would go to the center of the gymnasium And for one round, you would perform the exercise of the activity you were at. So for example, if you were at a red cone and red got called, you would go to the middle and you would do apple jumping jacks, okay, after we spun the wheel. Now, the way that students are moving is not walking, but if you see here, I made this locomotor skill wheel that has gallop, jog, karaoke, skip, high knees, and shuffle. So we spin this wheel and it tells the students that they're going to move around the outside of the cones using one of those locomotor skills. And when the music stops, they simply move forward to the next cone, and then we spin the fitness four corner wheel to see what exercise they do in the middle. So this app is really fun because I would walk around the gymnasium and have the students in the middle do the spinning. I also had a smart board in my gymnasium so that whatever is on my iPad is screen shared to the smart board so that the students could see it on the big screen. A pretty fun little app, just another way. One was web-based, this one is app-based. Okay, Edpuzzle, especially for virtual learning, I think teachers found this to be the most useful website during the pandemic. I hope that we realize a lot of the technology that we used for virtual teaching can still be used in the gymnasium, especially for students that are unprepared or medically excused, and this is one of those tools. Edpuzzle is essentially a video editor. You're going to find a video that's physical education related, or you could create your own video. And during the video, you stop at certain points and add assessment questions. Now, what's wonderful about this is I know teachers would assign a video to their students and they would never know whether or not the child actually watched the video. What's great about Edpuzzle is because you're putting assessment questions inside the video that they have to answer, and the video does not move forward until they have answered those questions, it makes the students accountable. And also the beauty of it is because you've set up your classroom in Edpuzzle, all of the assessments that they do when they watch these videos are graded for you, and their scores of each student are placed into your classroom. So while hopefully you will not be teaching virtually this year, if you have a student with a long-term medical excuse and you still want to have them involved and be able to give them a grade, you can give out these Edpuzzle videos to make them accountable and still have them learning physical education. So let's take a look.
When you're ready to find a video on Edpuzzle, your search options are endless. If you're looking for a ready-to-go video created by another teacher that already has questions embedded in it, use the Edpuzzle search channel. You can either type your search terms directly into the top search bar or click on the Edpuzzle channel first and then look for your video. Preview the video to check the questions, then copy it to your content, where you can edit the video further or assign it directly to your class. So what about YouTube? To find safe educational videos, just click on YouTube under our popular channels and search away. You can also simply copy and paste the link of a YouTube video into our search bar to edit it directly. Some of our other most popular channels include TED Talks, National Geographic, Crash Course, and Khan Academy, so you can search their libraries of content exclusively. What if you want to explore the content from the other teachers at your school? All you need to do is click on your school channel, where you'll be able to see all the videos your coworkers have created. Finally, once you have started to build up your own library of content, you can browse your own videos by clicking on My Content. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel to find more tutorials on how to edit your video, assign it to your students, and more.
So this is definitely one of those pieces of technology that can make your life easier, in that over the year of pandemic, a lot of teachers created these videos for physical education, and you can find them on Edpuzzle and not have to recreate them yourself. Let's see how to edit a video. It's supposed to start on its own. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, technology, help me out here.
Now that you've found the perfect video, it's time to add questions. After you've copied your video to my content, select the Edit option, which will open Edpuzzle's video editor. When you click on the Questions tab, you'll see various options. Play your video, and when you've reached the point where you want to add questions, click on which tab you want to add. You can also click on the timeline bar below your video, where you want to add your question. For multiple choice, just enter your question and your answer choices, making sure to select the green check mark for the correct answer or answers, and the red X for incorrect answers. To add a response, click on the plus sign where it says Add another answer choice. You can also add feedback for each response by clicking on Feedback. As an added bonus, your multiple choice questions will be graded automatically. If you're looking for longer responses, choose the open-ended option. These types of questions are perfect for encouraging critical thinking, and you'll be able to score them and provide feedback on your students' responses as soon as they answer. The note option is perfect for when you want to add some more information, or even record a brief audio comment. For all three of the options, you can also take advantage of additional features, including the equation editor, perfect for math teachers, or the option to add a hyperlink or an image. To add multiple questions or notes at the same point in your video, select the question type of your choice below, where it says Add another note or question here. While you're using the video editor, remember, you can always edit your question with a pencil icon, delete it with a trash bin icon, or move it by dragging it along the timeline bar. So, now you know how to add questions and personalize your video for your students. Happy teaching!
So once again, I think the future of physical education has a place for this, especially in the upper grades, where you can assign a video and as an assessment for the end of a unit or whatnot. So take a look at that and see what you think. Oops.
Now that you've found the perfect...
All right, this is what happened. This is what I get when I, hang on, I gotta there we go. Okay, the next tool is an app, and it is one of my favorite apps. It's called Team Shake. It makes seemingly random teams. It is under $2, and I'm going to show you here how it's used.
Okay, so let's take a look at an app called Team Shake. Team Shake will create random teams or seemingly random teams. When you open it up, it will look like this, only it won't have any players added to it. I'm going to add a player by clicking on the plus sign on the top. Now I'm going to add a player named Spot. I'm going to add. Okay, so you saw that Spot ended up on the list. Over here on the left-hand side, I can edit any of the players. If I click on the icon, I can make them absent or present. Now, down here on the bottom toolbar, you can see that it says 1 team, 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams, and if you toggle, you can create as many teams as you would like. I can also click on the arrows over here and change it to how many people I want on a team. So I'm going to make 2 teams, and it will show me that I'm going to create 2 teams of size 4. Now, all I need to do is press the shake button, or actually shake the iPad, and I'll get teams created. And you can show your students the teams. Okay, very simple. Now, when I click done, let's take a look over here on the bottom and click on the page. And you can see a toolbar pops up on the side. Over here, I can back up my lists. I can export lists to a spreadsheet. I can import lists, which is very useful. I can rename a list or create a new list, load, edit list, save new list, and save list changes. So a lot of great options there. Now, over on the right-hand side, if I click on this little hat with the person in it, it will give me a random name of a player. So that's a cool option. And then over here on this icon, it'll show things that you can do, some common actions. I can mark all absent, I can mark present, I can list them by name, strength, whether the absent people are on top. I can share Team Shake. I can toggle the video out and create reset sub and opposed teams. Now down the bottom, you'll see there's a student view. I can balance the team strengths. I can balance male and female. I can separate male and female. I can have a 2 female minimum or a 2 male minimum. I can make equal ability teams, leveled teams, sub teams, and opposed teams. Now let's take a look at how you do some of those things. If I click on Fred, this comes up with Fred's profile. I can mark him present or absent. I can put in a gender if I would like, and then I can toggle his strength to make sure if I want to put him as a strong player, and then I want to balance my teams, I can make sure that over and over again that my teams are balanced. Then down below, if you take a look, there's a sub team and opposed team. If I want, let's say, Fred and Barney to always play together, then I can both put them on sub team 1. Okay, and you'll see what happens when you press the done button, that a number 1 comes up next to Fred. And then I go to Barney and I do sub team 1, done, press done, and now they both have a 1 next to their names. So now when I shake the hat, Fred and Barney are on the same team. When I shake it again, Fred and Barney are still on the same team, okay? Now, if I were to go to those same 2 people, and instead of putting them on sub-teams, put them on opposed team, this time when I shake, Fred and Barney will be on different teams, and they will continue to be on different teams no matter how much I shake. So that is a very powerful tool if you want to split up players that don't get along with one another, or players you know, with abilities that you would like to separate.
Just a word of caution, when after you shook the iPad, just remember that if you start passing around the iPad for students to look at, they're going to be shaking it and creating new teams. So you can either read the names, or what I did is I had it screen shared to my smartboard so that they can see it. But just be careful that you don't shake it and then all of a sudden you've got new teams and the students are all confused. For the elementary students, they loved it. Middle school, they tolerated it for a little bit, but my mistake was that what I should have done was go in and create sub teams where each student would have at least one friend with them, because you know how social they are and they want to be with your friends. So if you made subgroups that allowed students to be together, they probably would be okay with it being random, but always having somebody they liked. BAM Video Delay is a student self-assessment tool. It is, what you do is you set a time limit for the transition. So in the video I'm going to show you, I have my husband set to throw darts at a dartboard. He's going to throw 3 darts, and then he's going to go over to the iPad and check out his performance. So I set the transition time for 10 seconds so that he could do 3 throws and then have the time to walk over to the iPad. You'll see that I probably should have set it for 15 seconds because he takes his 3 throws, collects his darts, and misses 2 of his throws when he comes over to look at it. So what you'll see on the iPad, what your students will see, is I've set it up so that the top video is the present video. So this is what he's doing now. He's waiting and he's looking, and there's nothing below because this is the first 10 seconds. So now the 10 seconds has gone by. He's throwing his darts in real time, and on the bottom screen, you can see the first 10 seconds where he was standing and watching. So he takes his 3 dart throws. Now he goes and collects them. If he had just walked over to the iPad, he would be seeing his 3 throws right now. So for your students, what's wonderful about this is that they can self-assess. The way I used it is below the iPad, I had a list of cues for the students. So for example, if you had your students throwing overhand, you might have questions that say, did I turn my side to the target? Did I step with my opposite foot? Did I follow through towards the target? So that when they came over and looked at themselves, they would have cues that they were going through to see what they did and give themselves a self-assessment. It works great for closed motor skills, shooting a basketball, serving a tennis ball, those kinds of things. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to be there to discuss anything with them. You could be teaching over here or watching or refereeing an activity, and students can be at a station doing this self-assessment. Coach's Eye is a video replay system that you can mark up, kind of like Major League Football, okay? So let's take a look at how that works.
The Coach's Eye app. And you can see down the bottom that there are options to take a video or import a video. I've taken the liberty of taking a video of myself doing my tennis serve that I really need a lot of help with. So I'm going to click on one of the videos, and down the bottom you can see that there's a time wheel. And when you press the time wheel, the arrow, you can view it in regular speed. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a look at my last serve so I can toggle back and forth through. Here's my last serve here. Take it right around here. Okay. Now, I can play it in slow motion. So I'm going to press the slow motion button and play it again. And I'm going to stop it at contact, because I really want to look at maybe the angle of my racket at contact. So I play it in slow motion, and when I get to contact, I'm going to pause it. And I can bring it back to where I see that the contact is. All right, now over on the right-hand side, there are some tools. So I'm going to maybe click on this circular tool, and I can choose color, I can choose shape. And so if I wanted to just show that that's the area I'm looking at, I could do that. But I want to maybe take an arrow here or a line, and I want to maybe draw a line down through the racket there so I can see the angle of the racket. And then I can take another line, maybe in a different color, and from my grip. And I can see that that's the angle. And if I put an arrow in here, I can show that the ball will probably come off the racket and head that way. Okay? What you can do is you can also purchase an angle tool if you would like. I'm not going to do that. Now, if I wanted to give my students feedback or myself feedback for the future, I can click on the record button up top while I do all of this transcribing onto the screen, and then I can send it out to somebody, and then it will play as a recorded video for them, and they can analyze it and hear the feedback that I give them. All right, that's it. Pretty simple, huh?
So a great coaching tool, yes, but the way I used it in my physical education class with elementary students is, for example, when I was teaching volleyball and taught the forearm pass and the set. And I set my students up and they were forearm passing and setting back and forth to one another. And I would walk around the gymnasium and take videos of students in action. And instead of setting it up so that I could critique students, I set it up so that I would motivate students. So at the end of the class, I would choose one of those videos and break it down, showing students doing the correct performance. So it was a way to review the skills that we had done during the day and applaud students that were on task and doing things properly. So just another way to use a tool like that in physical education. And it's a great tool for unprepared students that can walk around and help other students out. You know, take the video, sit down in groups and analyze their performance. All right, and we're going to take a look at how to create things now. So up until now, everything that we've done, you can just purchase or use. If you're a little bit more advanced with technology or would like to create your own student-centered or project-based learning, you can make a this or that video. A lot of this or that videos just have exercises that they choose to do. For example, do you like ice cream or cookies? And then underneath the picture would be an exercise, and the students would choose their exercise based on their choice of dessert. I prefer to make a this or that video that has some kind of formative assessment. So here's a formative assessment that I used with my students. The students would enter the gymnasium, they'd look up on the smartboard, and they would read the question, what component of health-related fitness did this child use to lift this heavy boulder? Now that's a picture of one of my students that I took a picture of her in front of a green screen and set a background and put a rock on it, a boulder on top. Now you don't have to use a green screen to do this. I'm going to show you another type of web-based tool that will take the background out. And then these two students on either side, I took their picture and created GIFs out of them. So we're going to learn how to take out a background. We're going to learn how to create exercise GIFs, and we're going to learn how to create a this or that video formative assessment. This one and others like it can be found on Southdown PE on YouTube, along with our physical snacks. I'm retired, so I'm not creating anymore for Southdown PE, but my predecessor has put up some new content on that site as well. So here we go. This is how you're going to create a this or that video.
Hi, welcome to Tech Bites with F. Today we're going to learn how to put together a this or that video using PowerPoint. Let's get started. We start by opening up a new PowerPoint and go to Layout. Go to Layout, and we're going to choose the layout with title only. I'm going to type in my formative assessment question into the title box. Which component of health-related fitness will I need to run from the United States of America to Thailand? Now I'm going to put my answers in. So I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to choose a shape, and I'm going to put my answer options in the shape. Let me copy and paste another one of these. So in this box, I'm going to put if the answer is cardiovascular endurance, then do this exercise. And in this one, I'll put if the answer is muscular strength, then do this exercise. All right, let's move on. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a GIF that's going to show that I am running across the world from the United States to Thailand. So I'm going to go to a site, my favorite site, pixabay.com, and you'll see that you can get photos, illustrations, vectors, videos, and music. I'm going to click on videos, and in the videos, I'm going to type in the search bar world and hit return. And now I'll get videos that show the world spinning or some kind of video. And I'm going to scroll down until I find a video that might have contrasting colors that might show up good on my video. So I'm going to go to this one right here and click on it. And now I'm going to download it. You'll see that it spins, and I'm going to download it for free. Okay. And I'll save it to my desktop. Let's move on. The next thing I want to do is I want to turn that video into a GIF so that it never stops spinning. So I'm going to go to a site called easygif.com, and I'm going to click on video to GIF. I'm going to choose a file, and here's my Earth video. So I'm going to click on that and open it up, and it will upload by clicking on this button, upload video, to the website. Then as I scroll down, I will choose convert to GIF. When it converts to the GIF, I have all of these different options that I could do: crop, resize, rotate, and more. And down the end, I'm going to click on save. And it will save that video, I'm going to say world GIF, to my file. Let's move on. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put a GIF of myself running so that it looks like I'm running across the world as it spins. So this GIF has to be transparent. So I took a video of myself running with a background that is white, and so that my black outfit will stand out. Then I go to a site called unscreen.com, and I'm going to click on upload clip. I click on this running video and upload it. And you'll see that it starts to take the background out of my video. Once it's finished, all I need to do is download. It will download to a file, and then I save it. Very simple. Let's move on. So now we're going to start inserting our GIFs into our PowerPoint. So we go to Insert, and GIFs are entered as a picture. So click on Picture, this device, and first I'll put in the world GIF. I'll center it in my screen, and I think I'm going to crop it so that it doesn't take up that much space. After I crop it, I'm going to enlarge it and recenter. Okay, now let's insert the GIF of me running. So I insert picture, this device, and we'll take the running and shrink it so that I fit in the world. And I'm running across the world. Now we'll just insert our exercises that I made previously. We'll put in a squat for this side, and we'll insert a lunge for the other side. And I think that I will flip that so it's facing the other way, flip horizontal. And then we have it, a simple way to make a formative assessment with a this or that. Let's move on. You might notice I made some changes while we were away. I didn't like how the GIFs contrasted, so I made a new video of the world and turned it into a GIF, and I put in some yellow rectangles behind my exercise GIFs so that it would contrast better. Now, the GIFs on unscreen are okay for short little exercise videos. If you would like a longer or better quality exercise video with a transparent background, then you might want to watch the Tech Bites with Hef video on doing green screen use. So let's finish up here by saving our video. But before we do that, we need to go to transitions on the top and click on after, so that the after box is clicked. And then you're going to change this number to however long you want your video GIF to go for. So I've set it on 30. You can put it on a full minute or even longer before it transitions or ends the video. You can add different slides to this PowerPoint presentation and ask more questions. And then when you save the whole video, it will transition from one question to the next question and allow the students to show their answer for 30 seconds. All right, so now I'm going to go to File and Save As. And I'm going to save this on my PC in my Tech Bites with Hef. And I'm going to not save it as a PowerPoint show. I'm going to save it as an MPG4 video. That way, when I want to put it into a Google slide presentation or upload to YouTube or send it home to my kids, I can just give them the video. All right. It will take some time to render, and then you'll have it. All right, we're all done. Thanks for joining me for Tech Bites with Hef. See you next time.
So there you go. There's a few steps, but you learned how to use EasyGIF. You learned how to take out the background. So for those of you that like to create your own technology, that's a very useful. Those are very useful tools. Ebooks are also something that I've been creating a lot of recently, and they are available on my YouTube channel. I want to take you there very quickly, whereas we're running out of time. So if you look on my YouTube channel, heaven forbid that we're virtual, but once again, for students that are medically excused or unprepared, these are some of the things that you can give them to do. On the side, the ebooks to listen to. There's also exercise videos. Down here, there are Tech Bites, not Tech Bites with that, Brain Bites. They are academic vocabulary and concept, physical education concept videos. They are available, most of them, they're all in English, and some of them are in Spanish. So those are wonderful. There's a muscular system. You can see that I have over 100 videos here with activities and lessons for students, mostly elementary, but there's a few of them for upper grades, as well as the Tech Bites with Hef videos that teach you how to use technology. So a super resource for you so that you do not have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of these videos are also on, what's the website I showed you earlier, where they edited Edpuzzle. So other teachers have used these videos and put them on Edpuzzle. So let's just take a quick look at what an ebook looks like. Asian American, Pacific Islander, Heritage Month by Lynn Heffley. Directions. Listen to the biography of the exceptional Asian American or Pacific Islander athlete Pause the video. Perform the exercise that corresponds with the athlete's outstanding accomplishments. Then restart the video. Vicky Manello was born and raised in San Francisco, California, to a Filipino father and English mother. She began diving at the age of 16 and used her mother's maiden name, Taylor, to apply for membership to a Patterson. So you can see that these ebooks have a story, and then at the end, a little biography, and then at the end of the biography, there's exercises for the students to do. If you find yourself stuck in a classroom, if you find yourself in situations where you have to be socially distant, these might be good resources for you to use. Now, I do have a video that shows you how to do them, but we don't have time for it. So I want to take you to a website called Flippity. And Flippity is actually being redone right now. So it's changed a little bit, but you can see they have random name pickers, they have word searches, and down here you can make tournament brackets. So I think this is a useful site for the upper grades when you need to make tournaments. Very simple, very easy. Okay. And the last one I want to show you, this was a randomizer that I did using Flippity, but it's not working right now because their website is upgrading today of all days. And here's the last one. It's called GPS coordinates. If you've ever done some geocaching, where you have an app that shows you where treasures are around the community and you go searching them out. Well, this is GPS coordinates that you can place treasures around your school grounds. They could be, toys or questions that you place in different areas of your school grounds. You're going to write down the coordinates of each of the treasures. And then you're going to create groups and give each group a tablet or, an old iPhone or whatever you have, or whatever they have, if they're allowed to use their own devices with this app. And then the students will walk around or run around the field, finding the coordinates in the order that you assign them. So you would assign each group the coordinates in a different order so they all weren't going to the same coordinate at the same time. When they get there, they'll take a picture of the treasure, and then you'll be able to see that they went to all of the treasures. So a fun activity, probably for older students, great for when the weather gets warm outside because students can walk and talk or run. I just thought it was a great activity that mirrors a lifetime activity of geocaching that they can do out in their community. All right. I'm going to give your director this link so that you can evaluate this program that I gave to you today. And I just want to remind you that Open is a public service of US Games. And we would just hope that you would take a look at our catalog, and because we are sponsored by US Games, and we hope to be able to bring you these professional developments and all of our resources in the future. All right. Here's my contact information again. You can take a screenshot of it, or I plan on putting together a PDF of this presentation with links so that you can go back and check out all of the resources and hopefully work on them on your own. So there you have it. I know you have 1 minute to move on. Please feel free to email me any questions you have. I'm more than happy to help you out in the future. So I'm going to stop my sharing.
Big thanks then to jumping on and doing this for today. I hope everybody got something out of this. If you're going to be on the next WebEx, I will be starting that probably in about 5 minutes. So if you guys need to take a quick break, get up for a minute, we will start the next one in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Lynn.
Bye. Thank you. Have a great day and a great school year. Call me if you need anything.